Hey everybody, happy Friday. It's your girl Claudia Jordan. We are back with another episode of TGIF, and it's Friday, so it's a day you get to send us your questions. And we're here to spill the tea and break down some of the biggest headlines in the news and on social media. So sit back, relax, and get ready for this hot tea. Fellas, please welcome Al Reynolds. What's up, Al?
What's going on, Claudia?
I am good. Where are you today?
I'm in Los Angeles.
Oh,
Where are you?
I'm in Atlanta. I just actually went by the set of Kenya Moore's opening of her new salon. I shot a little something with the Atlanta Housewives.
Is it a hair salon?
A hair salon. It's super cute too. High ceilings. It's all purple and pink. It's really, really cute. So it's a very classy establishment. I'm only mad that I didn't get a crab cake before I had to rush back to get on camera.
I think you're going back to the Housewives. I think that's the tea.
Is that right? Well,
I think that's the tea.
Who knows what the future holds? Please welcome Funky Dineva. What's up, Q?
What's wrong, Q?
I'm really sitting here trying to fight back tears. Like,
what's wrong?
That video that we're about to talk about is just really doing something to me right now.
I'm sorry. We're definitely going to get into the Tyre story and the video that just dropped, and we definitely we're going to address that right out the gate. Let's just get right into it. Breaking news, the city of Memphis released the body cam footage of the fatal beating of 29-year-old Tyre Nichols, who was brutally attacked by 5 Black police officers during a traffic stop. Before we show the video, we want to warn you, the clip is really gruesome. And if you have any children in the room, please maybe have them look away. Take a look.
Hey, Mike, hey, bro. Watch out.
According to Shelby County District Attorney Steve Mulroy, the 5 officers have each been charged with second-degree murder, aggravated assault, 2 charges of aggravated kidnapping, 2 charges of official misconduct, and 1 charge of official oppression. Al, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on this?
It's just unfortunate. I mean, we know that this is a special task force that was created to reduce crime and abuse of the police enforcement system. I mean, it's just all around bad and horrible. But it's so interesting to me that those particular officers, they moved very quick to immediately fire them. They moved very quick to immediately charge them. However, when we see people that don't look like us killing people like us, they are suspended without pay. It has to go to review, and the charges aren't as many as we see are happening with these guys. Now, I'm not taking up for the police officers in any way, but sometimes I need to see the same energy that you have in this case against these Black officers when white officers kill young Black men like us too.
Now, they say elections matter. The new police chief, she does not play, and she's been very adamant about cleaning up the police department, and she's the reason for this. And I think this needs to be this is not wrong how they so quickly went and got these brothers together, these police officers. I won't even call them brothers, but this needs to be across the nation.
Right.
Benjamin Crump was on television talking about all the other cases where it took 14 months, 2 years, a year, 6 months to get charges. And look how quickly it can happen when you want it to happen.
That's right.
Q, what are your thoughts? I know you're visibly upset about this. And how are you feeling about this?
I think the thing that saddens me the most about this is, I don't know, when it comes to white police officers versus Black people, I've come to have no expectations from them. It's just the history of this country. But to see Black police officers beat on that man the way they did, there's just no excuse for it. The lack of humanity that was not present. They did not see him as human. They did not see him as their brother. And, we talked about this on the radio today. They were saying how quickly that they moved to prosecute these Black officers, so on and so forth. And to be quite honest, I don't give a damn. I don't even want that to be the conversation we begin to have. Oh, when the Black people beat on the Black people, they fire them quickly. But when the white people do it, because you know what? The Black people shouldn't be doing it. We shouldn't be doing that to one another. And maybe it takes us making examples out of our own selves to set the pace for the rest of the country. You know, now we have a precedent. When this happens, this is how y'all need to handle it the same way. But to see these Black men beat on this Black brother the way they did, there's just no excuse for it. And for me, Claudia and Al, it speaks to a larger undercurrent, I think, that we have in our police system, where that these police officers think they're jury, judge, God, and everything else. And trust and believe, this is not the first time they beat on somebody. This is just the first time they beat on someone to this extent. And not all police officers are bad, but I'm pretty sure there are a lot of police officers out there that rough up people and beat them up when no one's watching. And something's got to change.
Mike, the man was crying for his mother. They're talking about reckless driving. He got away, so they were frustrated. So they're going to make him pay when they got him. I struggle to understand the mentality and the mindset of human beings that, okay, you may be frustrated, feel stupid. He made you look dumb by getting away, right? But then to have 5-on-1, and there's reports, I'm not sure, that he may have had a broken neck. And to beat someone like that over a traffic stop, but then we have these mass murderers taken into custody so calmly, and it's just pissing me off. And Black people, Black police officers, I get you trying to appease your boss. You trying to show much of a good cop you are. But you, of all people, should know how it feels, because it could absolutely be you on the other side. Absolutely. And it's disgusting. And I hope they get the utmost justice. I hope they get the book thrown at them. Yeah. Yeah. All right, y'all. We will definitely keep y'all posted with any updates. All right, Matt Barnes was caught on camera spitting on his fiance's ex-husband during a heated altercation at the Cowboys versus the 49ers game. Take a look. All right, that clip was provided by TMZ Sports. Now, according to an application for a temporary restraining order, Barnes got a restraining order against him. He says Patterson Jr. hunted me down and aggressively confronted me. The temporary restraining order was granted against Patterson, who has been ordered to stay at least 100 yards away from Barnes. What are your thoughts on this, Q? Let's go to you first.
So, you know, y'all know I don't play that spit and stuff, right? Like the minute I saw that big wad of spit, I was like, oh, heck no. But then when I read the story and it was saying how the man was consistently harassing Matt, he came and provoked this situation. He came and was pushing him or whatever the case may be. While I don't condone spitting, I live by the saying, you can't do wrong to a mofo and tell him how mad to get. All right. So you provoked the situation and you got what you got. Leave that man alone.
Okay, I hear you. Al, what do you think?
All right, Matt Barnes from Oak Park, Sacramento. He don't mess around. But we know that Matt Barnes has a very, very hot temper. You remember a couple of years ago, Claudia, when him and had that run-in with Gloria Govin's boyfriend, Derek Fisher, and he went straight to that house. He attacked
They
that
said he
boy.
drove 90 miles an hour. Yeah.
And went in that house and approached that and started beating that dude up. He don't play those games. And I mean, unfortunately, he's always fighting for one of his women and his kids. So, I mean, come on, Matt. You're getting a little up there in the age. I think we need to work on our conflict resolution. But did you guys know that his new girlfriend is Beverly Johnson, the supermodel Beverly Johnson's daughter?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is so cool. That's such a fun fact.
Do you know her, Claudia?
Yeah, I do. And we're friendly, and I'm definitely very happy. They had a tough time with their relationship, and they finally got there. I was so happy for Christmas. I think he proposed on Christmas.
Nice.
All right.
Matt Barnes, another fun fact, is Black Italian. He's Black and Italian like me, and he is the toughest, most gangster, light-skinned guy out there, I think he's like overcompensating for all the light-skinned jokes that people be making. He's like, okay, I'm
Not today.
soft, okay? Speaking of another one here, Chris Brown revealed that he had to build a department store for his massive collection of clothing outside his property. Take a look.
Just so y'all see, man. There's still more, you feel me?
Now, the video was released after the IRS in the state of California hit Brown with a $4 million tax bill for last year. What are your thoughts on this news? And I think, I don't want to put it out there, but one of my girls, I think, is the one that's the interior designer. She's working with him. Al, what you think about this?
What did she design? Racks and beautiful lighting?
Not that part. She does.
Oh,
She does
the house.
interior. Yeah, she does the house.
Okay, cool, nice. You know, I listen. If you have it, you can do things like this. But what you can't have, in my opinion, is 2 federal tax liens and a state tax lien that is in excess of $4 million. If you can buy clothes, you can pay your taxes. Come on, because a federal tax lien, if he doesn't satisfy that, they go after his real estate, his personal property, which is his clothes, to sell it to cover the lien. So you can have all the clothes in the world. If you don't cover that tax lien, they're going to sell those clothes and sell your house and all your other financial assets if you don't do what the IRS says do.
Yeah, you don't want them problems. I don't had them problems before when I lived in California. I fixed them problems. Q, what you think about these problems?
Look, you can't tell nobody what to do with their money, but that's just absolutely too many damn clothes, okay? Like, I bet that room stink all that damn fabric. It's just too much. And
What it smell like, Q?
Factory, sweatshop. I mean, a Nike factory. Clothes collect dust and all type of. It's Chris. Why you got all that shit?
Is that considered gluttony?
Then it looked like hoodies and jackets. It looked like much of the same. And like I said, you can't tell nobody what to do with their money. But it just feels like too much. Like it don't even look like collector's items. And maybe he gonna spread it out like the girls do when they hang up their Birkins and their shoes and put all the designer stuff. But
Welcome back to TGIF. Once again, it's Friday, so go ahead and throw your questions in the chat for the crew. We'll get to them at the end of the show. All right, y'all, listen, one person who knows how to grab our attention is that Doja Cat. She's always doing something to get us talking. Now, Doja has been giving the girls a run for their money during Paris Fashion Week after she arrived covered in red body paint and 30,000 Swarovski crystals. The rapper was also spotted wearing a mustache to Victor and Rolf's fashion show. Are y'all here for Doja's looks? What do you think? Is this cool or not? Al, let's start with you.
You guys know I love it. I just love her. She's young, vibrant, beautiful, talented, daring. It's something that the pop culture needs right now. We're used to Grace Jones we've had in the past, Lady Gaga we've also had Cher. All of them were daring. I have never seen a black female rapper, though, do stuff like this at this level, who are working with the creatives like Daniel Roseberry and Pat McGrath, who's like a billionaire, top of her game as a makeup artist, and her team. I'm loving this whole red body paint. I can't get enough. I love it when a black woman shifts the culture, shifts the industry, and brings all the heat. And I think this is exactly what she did with this outfit.
Okay. Q, what do you think?
You know what? I echo Al's sentiments. I'm actually loving Doja Cat. I don't know much about her music because, I'm old. I listen to Anita Baker and Regina Bell. But I do love the image thing. The thing I question though is, was it hot up under all them crystals and stuff? And like my ADD would act up too much for me to sit still long enough, so I could never play in a movie that would require me to put on a prosthetic body or a whole bunch of body paint. But shouts out to Doja Cat. I liked it.
I didn't think it was cute for me, but I think it's cute for the culture. I think superstars are supposed to push the envelope. They're supposed to get us talking about their choices. They're supposed to keep it fun and not just look the same. And in that way, I give her like a 10 in that, because she is definitely good at that. It ain't for everyone because we're not her. You know what I mean? And I think she's doing a fine job of keeping us talking about her. I think she's doing a good job.
Would you prefer that, Claudia, over the black mask that the Kardashians and Kanye wore, where they just did the whole black mask?
Yeah, I definitely prefer what Doja Cat's doing.
Yeah.
The black mask thing is giving me, I don't know. I won't say demonic, but I don't like it.
Yeah, like killer vibes.
Leather bar, like, yeah.
You doing good, Q. Don't start.
I just said, leather bar. It's so funny because I just got through watching the last installment of American Horror Story NYC. And, the whole series is about the man with the black mask on. So that's why I said leather bar.
All right. Well, Doja Cat, keep up the good work. All right, y'all. A Michigan pastor is sharing his experience of what he claims he encountered when he claims he went to hell after suffering a heart attack. Take a look.
See, here, music is for like to get over a breakup. Don't worry, be happy. I busted windows out your car, or under my umbrella, or whatever. There, every lyric to every song is to torment you as to the fact that you didn't worship God through music when you were on the earth.
Okay, what are your thoughts on Rihanna's song Umbrella being a hit in hell? And are you surprised that a pastor claims that he went to hell? Q, let's start with you. What you think about this?
Listen, we talked about this on Hot 105 this morning. Listen, I'm less concerned about Rihanna playing and more concerned about the fact that you are a pastor leading a flock of people and you went to hell. Okay, anybody who goes to this man's church, y'all need to run like hell. Okay, because if y'all pastor and the man that's supposed to be guiding y'all to heaven made a wrong turn and ended up in hell, what do y'all think is going to happen to y'all? And then as far as Rihanna is concerned, he was saying Umbrella was being played on repeat. Was that the devil shading Rihanna saying she can't sing? So we're going to let you hear something that's not euphonious to the ear? Or what's the Rihanna piece?
Right. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Al, what do you think?
I would cue on this one. When he's right, he's right. Like, I'm wondering, the congregation, are they still, I wondered, did the numbers go up or down? Because your pastor just was sent to hell.
It's funny, he just like slid that in there without really saying that. Like, shouldn't he be like, forget the song stuff, but why don't we talk about why you up in hell?
I would listen. If I wanted to keep collecting my check from the church, I'd have never told nobody I went to hell. Okay, I'd have just kept that to myself, me and my wife, because that's going to affect your money, Pastor. I'm not going to no pastor who's been to hell.
Right. I think maybe
one or two things is going on, Al. He's either a heathen or he's crazy as hell. But either way, I'm not going. And the last thing, as a parishioner, I would be curious to know what you're doing in your life that sent you to hell.
Exactly.
Like, are you cheating on your wife? Are you doing drugs? Like, what sent you to hell, Pastor?
Probably a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You know?
Yeah.
All right, y'all. In scamming news, the feds announced a major takedown of a fraudulent nursing diploma scheme. According to ABC News, officials said the scheme involved peddling more than $100 million worth of bogus nursing diplomas and transcripts over several years. The scam included fake credentials that were sold to help thousands of people take shortcuts towards becoming licensed practicing nurses. Oh, my God. What are your thoughts on this medical scam? And I need to holler at the nurse that gave me that Ozempic shot, because I don't know now.
What state was it?
Don't start. Don't start. Don't start. It was Florida, okay?
Florida.
No, let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something. Florida was filling in the gap. We had a whole pandemic, okay?
Y'all didn't follow no pandemic rules.
It was a nursing shortage, and instead of y'all coming down on Florida, we tried to step up for the whole United States and fill the backlog of nurses. Okay, so what? Them people had to skip a couple courses. Okay, they skipped how to find the veins for shots. Okay, when y'all grandparents was laying up on the respirators, they didn't need to know how to do shots. All they needed to know how to administer CPR and see if the people was breathing. Okay, it was a shortage of nurses, and Florida tried to fill in the gap. So don't come down on us. Okay, you need to be
absolutely. First of all, Q, you of all people who gets IVs to bring yourself back to life after
every day,
every 2 weeks, you of all people should be caring about people being able to find a vein. Have you ever had someone try to find a vein and they miss it and they got to twist the needle around? Has that ever happened to you?
Yes, it actually has happened to me.
They have these unlicensed shortcut nurses. I'm surprised at your take on this. Al, get your friend together.
You know I can't. It's the state of Florida. You guys remember, what was it, 217 or 218? Do y'all remember when the Department of Justice cracked down on the state of Florida and the healthcare industry when that woman embezzled $1 billion? Y'all remember that happened in 2017?
She was trying to help the people.
She wasn't helping nobody. She was taking bribes to create false claims to the tune of $1 billion. Listen, this was a $114 million scheme. 7,600 future nurses paid $15,000 to do this. First of all, Where in the hell did a licensed practitioner nurse come up with $15,000 to even participate in this scheme? All the nurses I know, even though that, you know, they're fine citizens, they not making that type of money where they can pay $15,000. And 30% of the ones that participated in that 7,600 scheme, that fake scheme, went on to take the state boards and passed it. Now,
That's all they need. See, they qualified. They qualified. They qualified.
They probably
That's what the exam is there for.
But you got to do your clinical hours.
That's your competency. Okay, listen, that's called on-the-job training. Okay?
No, you don't do on-the-job training people's lives.
Right.
You are so ghetto. Hey, speaking of ghetto, wouldn't it be funny if they got the money to pay for their scamming, for their, you know, shortcuts from PPP?
Right.
That might have been the thing, because that's what everybody.
There you go, Claudia.
No, but you know what? In all seriousness, you know, I know I was joking about the pandemic, so on and so forth, but I don't know this to be fact, but I would not be surprised if truly the shortage of nurses and the high demand for them help facilitate this scheme.
Right.
No.
To pump an influx of nurses into the market. Because I have friends that work at hospitals and are directors, and they're talking about how their nurses have been striking and how they pay all this money to these third-party agencies for nurses. And even currently, there is still a nursing shortage, not to mention how all these nurses were racking up during COVID with the traveling nursing. So I wouldn't be surprised if the nursing shortage did help fuel and facilitate this scam.
Well, shout out to all the good nurses out there, the women and men that still want to be nurses and deal with all the stuff that they got to deal with, because they definitely held us down during COVID. I will say that.
Yes.
So I don't know about them shortcuts, Q.
Do you think they're gonna skip? Al, do you think they're gonna search the people out and revoke their license? Or
Q, this is what the issue is. They said that they have a list. They have a list of every single person that passed those boards that has these jobs. And it's not just in the state of Florida, unfortunately, because a lot of the nurses have moved. Like you said, some of them are traveling nurses. And now we have this issue of their real certification. But they did pass the boards. 30% did, right? They passed the boards. They just faked the education.
All right, moving on before we go to break. Keisha Hamilton, a school board member in Jackson, Michigan, refuses to apologize for her controversial tweets blasting white people. Last month, Hamilton tweeted, "Whiteness is so evil, it manipulates," then says, I want to apologize for my dishonesty and trauma-inducing practices, and thinks you should applaud it for being honest about its ability to manipulate and be dishonest. Hashtag deceitful, hashtag. She also tweeted that white people are more dangerous than animals. She went hard. Now, during a school board monthly meeting to address county issues, Hamilton addressed the backlash and said, "I cannot apologize for something that is true. I'm not saying white people are evil. I think white identity and whiteness is evil. Examples of whiteness include the murder of George Floyd, the racist criminal justice system, slavery, poverty. I think we can all agree those are evil." What are your thoughts on her tweets and her comment, Q? You know, you be getting kicked off social media all the time. What do you think about this? And would you apologize if you were her? I don't think you would.
So listen, I 100% agree with everything she said out of her mouth. The institution of whiteness is horrendous, horrible, and evil. I didn't say white people as individuals. I said the institution of whiteness, their collective identity. White people collectively have the most heinous history of any group of people on this planet. Not to be misconstrued, I'm not saying white people are horrible or heinous. I am saying the institution of whiteness. I agree with everything she said. However, you are a school board member, and in being a school board member, you also represent white students. You also have a duty to represent the school board in a certain way, and everything that you think can't be said. So while I agree with what she said, I think that she should have exercised a bit more professional discretion and perhaps not tweeted those things because of her position.
Okay, got you. Al, what do you think?
You know, this young lady is actually her full-time job. She's a racial equity consultant. This isn't the first time that she's made these types of tweets. I think the problem here is when people saw that word whiteness, they took it personal. And this isn't personal because she's talking about a construct, which is called whiteness, which is the base foundation of white supremacy. So as she explains the definition, she said nothing wrong. She talks about it all the time as a racial equity consultant. I think them taking it out of context to me is a play to shut her up.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. But before we go to break, let me remind y'all, we need your questions in the chat on our YouTube channel. Please go ahead and submit your questions for us, and we'll answer them at the end of the show. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. All right, welcome back to TGIF. All right, y'all, you know I stay on the road. Actually, the three of us stay on the road because we are booked and busy and we like to travel. So soulmates, if you enjoy planning last-minute travel and trips like myself and Q and Al, then you understand the challenges of finding a cute, fashionable bag to store your belongings for the getaway. Now, with my base weekender bag, there's room for everything with hyper-functional and chic designs. You've got all the nooks and crannies and even some surprise space to effortlessly, oh my God, it don't take no effort to fit it all in. So you don't have to settle for anything less. Now, Base was created by actress Shay Mitchell to make sleek and affordable bags, luggage, and accessories designed to help you travel while still looking fashionable. Now, Base has thought of everything you could ever want in a piece of luggage: 360-degree gliding wheels, a cushioned handle, built-in weight indicator, washable bags for your dirty clothes, and all the interior pockets you need to keep organized. Now, their luggage comes in multiple sizes and colors, and for shorter trips, the weekender bag is super functional and even has a place to store your shoes separately. Now, every piece is made to look better with miles, so you don't have to worry about it in cargo or overhead. And Base has over 30,000 five-star reviews. Now, whether you're packing for a quick trip or looking to breeze through security, Base has your personal items covered. Now, right now, Base is offering our listeners 15% off your first purchase by visiting basetravel.com/T. Go to basetravel.com/T for 15% off your first purchase. Al, you've got the bag right there. Show us.
La 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 la. This is beautiful, Claudia. And I took it with me to Sundance. And let me tell you the best part about this. I wear a size 12 shoe. So you know how much that shoe takes up the original space inside the thing. Like you said, it has a special compartment in the bottom right here that disconnects. There's a zipper here that disconnects, and you can put your shoes in it without taking up space in the carry-on.
Love to hear it. Once again, that's basetravel.com/T. Go ahead and sign up and go ahead and get your discount. All right, let's get back to the show. All right, soulmates, we know how much you enjoy hearing about funky shenanigans in the streets. And I know we left y'all hanging on Wednesday, so we thought we'd give you some cue time with Funky Daniva. Let's go, Q.
You know, I don't even know if I should tell this story because the last time we did Q Time, all the blogs picked up. So many people made YouTube videos about now I'm a side piece and I'm sleeping with somebody's husband, despite the fact that the woman gave me permission and we actually communicate with each other. So I'm nobody's side piece. Let's get that understand, okay? I'm just the toy on the side, okay? Anyway, so one day, y'all, this is back in Atlanta when I lived at the 12 Hotel. This is very funny. 4 people walk into the bar, 2 guys, 2 girls, and the way they were interacting with each other, I couldn't tell if they were coupled off or if they were friends. I'm with my friends, we're all having a good time drinking, and I give one of the guys my phone number, not knowing if he was gay, straight, or indifferent, just, hey, you're new around here, let's hang out. So later on that night, he hits me back and he says, hey, we dropped the girls off, can we come back and hang out with you guys? And I'm like, sure. And then he texted me back and he said, would you mind if it was just me? I was like, oh, okay. So he comes over and comes up to my apartment and we start drinking and hanging out, and one thing led to another and we begin to fool our lives. So we're up there fool our line for a few hours. And then he goes, all right, now I think I better go before she wakes up. I'm like, excuse me, she? Well, just where is she at? Y'all, why he had his girlfriend downstairs in the car in the parking lot? And she was drunk, passed out in the parking lot. Now, see, this time it wasn't my fault. I didn't knowingly sleep with nobody who was somebody's.
No, so y'all fool la la?
We fool la la.
Like what type of fool la la?
We enough for her to not approve. Okay, and she was downstairs in the car sleep.
Why are you always the hoe? Like,
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You have hooker
Listen.
stories every week. You have prostitution stories.
Where is the unlocking your better self, Q?
Well, this was a few years ago, but I didn't do nothing.
First
That's
of all,
a
let me
very
tell you something
lie.
about men, gay, straight, or in between. Whenever a man's voice goes up, like what you just said, say it again. I didn't do
I
it.
didn't do nothing.
That's
When
a
the voice
lie.
goes up an octave, that Negro is lying. Ladies, gentlemen, you want to know if your man's lying? Say it again. What you do, Q?
Hey, dude.
Nothing. And listen, I didn't know that lady was down there asleep, okay? And I was actually upset because I was like, don't be bringing this heat to my parking garage. And she knew where my door was, but don't be bringing this heat to my parking garage. And yeah.
Was he cute?
Uh-huh.
What did he look like?
We messed around again. He was white and short, and he looked like McDreamy off of Grey's Anatomy.
So you said you messed around for hours.
Yeah,
What does that entail?
like 2 or 3 hours of foreplay and just playing around and
No
frolicking.
penetration? No penetration?
No, not that late.
Oh,
I'm trying to get to the meat.
you
Like he
see,
was.
Claudia don't waste no damn.
Listen, we got naked and had fun. That's all y'all need. Okay, while that lady was downstairs asleep,
Where were the dogs?
watching.
If your
Your
dogs,
dogs are probably the most traumatized with all the shenanigans in your place.
Hold on, what you mean all? I don't have all. It ain't no all the men.
The
okay?
Russian, the gentleman callers, the this, the that.
married man.
Listen,
everyone.
the
I
guy
am
from the bar
young.
that he met.
I am young. I am single. I am safe.
You
I
are
am
seasoned.
beautiful. I am
You are
smart.
seasoned.
Okay. And I know who I am. I am a strong, independent,
God.
secure person.
Use a hoe.
You know.
We're gonna take a break on that. Thank you so much for sharing your little hoe tale with us. We'll be right back. Make sure you put your questions in the chat for all of us. I know a lot of them gonna be about Q, his business. We'll be right back with more after this. All right, welcome back to TGIF. Shout out to the soulmates that are commenting on Funky's sex life every single week. And they're like, Al ain't never gonna tell his business now. They like, Funky, you are doing something. What they say? Oh no, I'm not gonna read that. Okay. Okay, the soulmates is going in. Okay, anyways, a 29-year-old woman has been charged with providing documents that falsified her age after posing as a high school student school in New Jersey. Now, the woman apparently provided a false birth certificate to the local Board of Education with the intent to enroll as a juvenile at the high school. One student who befriended the woman told CBS, not knowing she was a 29-year-old woman makes me question how safe I am in this building. It is unclear as to why the woman enrolled at the school, but students said she attended classes for 4 days. She continued to text her former classmates days after her ruse was discovered. I've had heard some rumors. I'm not sure if this is true. That there may be some sex trafficking attempts. Al, what'd you hear about this? What do you think about this news?
I think, Claudia, you might have your finger on the pulse on this one because she was actually arrested and she has been arraigned, but she will have a court hearing.
The fact that you're 29 years old and you're going to pose as a student to be in school and get close to these students to possibly sex traffic them is frightening. Q, what do you think about this?
You know, it's funny because this is not the first time that we have seen. Remember, there was a story a few years back of this woman that did the same thing. And I was about to ask what's going through the psyche of somebody who would do something like this. You guys, I got to be very honest, Claudia and Al. I am still very in the dark and surprised at just how rampant sex trafficking is, because it's one of those things that you don't see all the time, especially if you don't know what to look for. So this definitely scares me. because it's proof that I guess it's very rampant if we're sending decoys into high schools to, allegedly get close to students for them to enter the sex traffic trade. It's scary.
I guess for me, it's like, with so much available sex out there, I know these freaks like the children, but there's there's my answer, I guess. They want kids. They don't want it from willing participants. It's a power thing.
But let me
also, sorry.
Go ahead, Al.
I think the thing that we have to remember is that sex trafficking, prostitution falls under sex trafficking. So, she's there recruiting, probably, I'm not saying in this case, allegedly, because Claudia knows more than I do, but it could be a case where she's recruiting women to prostitute.
So that's where I was going to go with it, because I'm
Right.
like, when you hear sex trafficking, my mind instantly goes
That you're kidnapped.
White van. Now you're in Thailand working in a brothel.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I'm learning that there's a much broader definition of it, and I guess prostitution and selling Tussycat after school is one of them.
Well, Jeffrey Epstein paid millions and millions and millions of dollars for access to young little girls, like what this woman, if it's true, was in there trying to recruit women to do. Go over, give him massages, go over. And...
Listen, and I'm not trying to be funny. If their high school was anything like mine was, and I graduated in 2001, baby, you ain't got to recruit, okay? Because they was them girls was out there fast. They was hunching the security guards. They all had grown men pulling up in box Chevys, picking them up after school or whatever the case may be. So I'm only assuming that the girls, the students don't got worse. Got cell phones and the internet, so you ain't got to recruit too hard.
Now, Claudia, didn't Jeffrey Epstein, they said he had coming every day from 15 to 30 little girls visiting his home in Palm Beach. Not Palm Beach.
I'm sorry. I was laughing because Q was saying the little fast girls out of school having sex with the security guards. I actually lost my virginity to a security guard.
Oh my!
But I'm the hoe. I'm the hoe, y'all.
He was 19 and I was 17 and a half. And honestly, I lived in Rhode Island and he reminded me of Ronnie DeVoe, and like New Edition was like a big deal back then.
Was it good?
Listen, half the female soulmates on this thing hunched the security guards, and the other half, if they went to inner city school, they had a drug dealer boyfriend picking them up after school. Okay, so we all did it.
What were we gonna say, Al?
No, I said, was it good? Your first?
I was good. I mean, he was like, "You look good." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." Okay. Anyways. Brace yourselves for this story because it's a bit gruesome. A Louisiana man was infatuated with serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer. Now he's been sentenced to 45 years in prison for using the Grindr app to target and kill gay men. 21-year-old Chance Seneca was convicted in 2020 of kidnapping and attempting to murder a gay man as part of a long-running plot to kill and eat his victims. In June 2020, Seneca invited one of his victims to his father's home and told him to put on a pair of handcuffs so they can have sex. But instead, Seneca attempted to kill him by strangling him with a belt, putting him in a bathtub, hitting him in the head with a hammer, stabbing him in the neck with an ice pick, and slitting his wrist with plans to dismember him. The victim survived after spending 3 days in a coma. Now, Seneca called 911 on himself and confessed to plans to kidnap and murder gay men. Al, what are your thoughts on these charges and Jeffrey Dahmer copycats?
Listen, this is alarming to me and downright scary. But what we learned from this young man, he started this when he was 19 years old. He said he was doing it to mirror Jeffrey Dahmer. And guys, remember when we covered this special on Netflix, I was telling you how on the special he had a fan club. Well, guess what? This young man was in his fan club. Because remember, his fan club, Jeffrey Dahmer's fan club, was sending him money for his commentary in prison. And the deal is, Claudia, he only is going to get 45 years. He's 21. He may be able to parole early or get out at 60-something years old, which gives him time to go back to doing this same crap again. I think it's ridiculous. He should have definitely got life for trying to kill and eat someone that's gay and off a Grindr.
Meanwhile, we have young Black guys in jail for 30 years for nonviolent drug offenses. And anyways, it pisses me off. Q, what do you think?
This just makes me think about the practices of all gay men, especially previous to the apps when we had Adam for Adam and BGC, and how you would literally link up with somebody and go to their house, or they would come to your house and y'all would hook up and fool Allah. And just to think, looking back at it now, how reckless that was. I mean, I done went around plenty of people's house that I did not know, and this could have been me and a lot of people like me. So I'm just having a praise the Lord moment right now that I made it out without ending up in somebody's meat grinder.
Oh, because like the guy you like with the white, I'm concerned about our friend. I am, because I do think it's fun, but you don't really know these people, right?
This story not about me. Okay, this not about me.
Okay.
Well, listen, I always say, if you're going to do prostitution, do it out your own house, your own domain, where you know where everything at. I got pistols and knives and everything else hidden all around this house. So I do my hoeing from home.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Well, let's get into this freak accident. A 30-year-old man was shot and killed by his dog during a hunting trip. Oh, you know what? I'll tell you all about it after we take this quick commercial break. We'll be back and we're going to talk about the man who got killed by his dog. We'll be right back. All right, let's get into this freak accident. A 30-year-old man was shot and killed by his dog during a hunting trip. Authorities say the two were on a hunting trip in Kansas, and the man was positioned in the passenger seat of his pickup truck when the dog stepped on the rifle, causing it to fire. What do you think about this, Q? I know you're a dog lover. You had some dogs. What do you think about this?
No, this is really, really, really sad. I really don't know what to say. It's just a freak accident. Somebody is dead, so I don't even want to go down a rabbit hole of blaming the man and saying you should have, not had a loaded gun in paw reach of your dog. But this is what happens when we're not 100% responsible with our gun safety. So I hate it for his family. This is a freak accident, and yeah.
Sad. Al, what do you think?
This is just way unfortunate. The way I saw it was the dog may have been happy to see him, jumped up in the car seat and was walking over the gun and made the gun go off. But this is my question, because if a dog bites a person, like if an aggressive dog bites a person more than 2 times, they can end up going to court to have a hearing to have the dog put down. Do you think because this dog actually killed someone that they may use those same measures to have him put down?
Nah,
Probably not.
I don't think so. Because I think the dog biting you is an intentional act on the dog's behalf. The dog didn't have any concept of or intention to harm the man.
So how does he explain to his insurance company that his wife explained to the insurance company, well, the dog shot my husband. I need to collect the life insurance.
I guess there's no safeties. I thought is there not a safety on rifles? Because I would definitely have a safety device on, until it's time to actually shoot. That's sad. Okay. Let's do this story real quick before we get to the questions. A white quarterback recruit in Florida, Marcus Stokes, recently received a scholarship from a historically Black college in Georgia. There he is. Look at him. Looking all Black is beautiful-ish. Now, the offer comes after the University of Florida dropped his original scholarship once the school caught wind of him saying the N-word in a viral video. That's right. He got dropped from one school and got a scholarship to an HBCU. Stokes tweeted, "Blessed to receive my first HBCU offer to play at Albany State University." What are your thoughts on this ridiculous story on Albany State offering him a football scholarship after he used the N-word, Al? What you think?
Let me tell you, I actually didn't have a problem with it because allegedly he was singing a rap song that had the N-word in it, and he was recording himself rapping, and that is how this situation went viral. But think about it. He can get offers from anybody. I mean, he had committed, then they dropped, they resent the the commitment and the offer. So now he is free reign for whoever wants to offer him a scholarship. So an HBCU, it's not the first time an HBCU has offered a white quarterback or a white athlete a scholarship.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Q?
Unpopular opinion, I think this was an overcorrection on the University of Florida's part.
Yeah,
I think that if this boy was, sitting out calling people N-words, from a negative place, then he should have been dropped. But he was singing a song, and granted, yes, they probably shouldn't use the word, but this is what happens when we continue to flood our music, arts, and entertainment with the damn word. It's gotten to the point now where it's just become a part of pop culture. He was singing it. This younger generation of non-melanated kids, they sing along with it. I don't think the school should have dropped him. And if Albany State needs a quarterback, and if he was good enough to be a quarterback recruit for the University of Florida, hell, maybe they can get him for their team and educate him on being Black at the same time.
There we go. All right, y'all. Before we go, we want to show love to our fans in the chat. Open up the floor to anything for them to ask us anything. Are y'all ready? Damn, I meant to leave more time. I only have 3 minutes to get this all done. I'm gonna read right through them. My question, Al, have you been with more women or men?
Oh, probably more women.
Mo9, question, Q, can I join you in Miami where the Honda's car be at?
Yes, you sure can, Mo9. Send me a DM on Instagram, and I will gladly tell you where I'm at.
Tara Jackson, Claudia, did you get engaged? We see a ring. Boo. I have rings on both fingers, on 2 fingers. So it fits on that finger. So no, I'm gonna let y'all know. Patrice, do y'all hook up for each other's birthdays?
Not birthdays per se, but we do hook up for random events.
Random, yep. Asia Goins, this question is for Al. It seems like Al is more comfortable talking about his sex life with women compared to men. Al, are you still finding comfort when speaking about your sexuality?
No, I'm very comfortable speaking about my sexuality. I'm sorry that I don't do it the way people want me to do it. I do it as it relates to my experience.
Brittany, question for Funky. What has been your scariest encounter?
I don't know. I'm assuming you're talking about with the gentleman caller. One robbed me one time, and I'll tell you that story later, but I got robbed one time.
Maybe for next week's Q shenanigans for your segment, Q time. Scissor, I don't know. Claudia, what's your most expensive flyout? You don't have to name names. Okay, I got one. Since y'all say I don't like to share stories, when I was working on the Ricky Smiley morning show, there was this guy. He was an NBA player, and a publicist wanted to hook us up, and I was going to Dominican Republic. And he wanted to meet me, and we talked for like a month and a half before he came down, and he took a private plane, just him and a friend, to come meet me and take me to dinner. And I thought that was super dope. So yeah. All right, that's around the questions from the chat. Do y'all have any questions for each other? Like, y'all have any questions y'all want to ask? We got like 1 minute left.
What y'all doing this weekend?
I'm in Atlanta for and he has another premiere of Fear, the girl who you say is my lesbian lover. That's tomorrow. Film with Atlanta Housewives today, and then I'm going to Vegas for a baby shower.
Nice.
When are you getting to Vegas?
Sunday morning. You gonna be there?
Oh no, I'll be here unpacking still.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll be out there.
I'm resting. I'm tired. Weak. I'm spent.
What?
Tired.
I've never heard your voice like this before.
I'm tired. I'm beat. I'm spent. It's been a rough week.
And he the young one, Al.
He can't hang.
All right, lots of fun. Like always, you guys, make sure you watch the repeat tomorrow on YouTube. I want to thank my co-hosts Al Reynolds and Funky Dineva for always bringing it. Thank you for watching us on the YouTube channel and always keeping the chat lively. Stay tuned for Tracks and Tales, and we will see y'all back here on Wednesday.
Have a good weekend, soulmates.
See y'all later.